Universe 7 has won the tournament in power, although the Zarbon Force is planning to strike back once more, this time with some more allies. How's that going to go for them? We'll see how that turns out and more in this final part of What If the Ginyu Force Turned Good. Zarbon inspects all his new recruits. No one seems immediately stronger than him. Of course, Zarbon has been training over this time, same for Dodoria. Both have grown a lot stronger, but they're clearly not strong enough to fight the Saiyans on Earth. This Broly fellow seems to have potential, and as for the Heaters and Granola, well, he's not really too sure. What he doesn't realize is that they're way weaker than anyone on Earth, especially because neither Granola nor Gas have made their wish yet. So they're actually pretty weak right now, even weaker than Zarbon. Either way, it's going to be a full-on assault of Earth, so they'll be fine regardless. They should have more than enough people. Plus, while they're there, Zarbon wants to get the Dragon Balls for himself again. Sure, it might have not worked last time reviving Frieza, but this time he's going to try something different. He might just try and wish for immortality. How would someone stop him if they can't kill him? He did consider bringing back King Cold, but he's already past that. After the last experience with Frieza, he doesn't want them to fumble it again. Besides, he kinda likes ruling this army. He might as well just make himself stronger. A few ships arrive on Earth. Goku and Vegeta are immediately there. Zarbon's troops look for the Dragon Balls, while Broly acts as the main event. But before he steps up to fight Goku and Vegeta, someone else steps off the ship. It's Kui. He's glad to see Vegeta again after all this time. And he's feeling really confident in his strength. He's grown so powerful. He doesn't even know if Frieza would stand a chance against him. And he wants to personally be the one to kill Vegeta. Quickly he jumps up in the air, charging an ultimate attack and launching it at Vegeta, who's not even powered up. And just as it hits him, Vegeta simply swats the attack away. Really? That's his full power? Kui then panics, but it's already too late. Vegeta simply sticks a finger out, and Kui immediately knows what's happening. Can Vegeta at least kill him a different way this time? Nope, dirty fireworks. Kui explodes midair, and Zarbon and Dodoria run back on their ship, as Broly's then sent out to fight. The Heaters and Granola are watching on from the ship too. Granola really wants to attack the Saiyans. I mean, look, they're right there. But it's not like he particularly likes anyone on the ship either. Though, he's really weak at this point. Before the wish, he wasn't really that strong, so it's not like he could really do anything here. Zarbon lets Gas know that he's up next if Broly loses. And then Gas gets a good look at the other Saiyan there, Goku. Wait a second, that hairstyle. There's no way he could possibly be related to that Saiyan he fought all those years ago. Right? He hopes not. The fight between Goku, Vegeta, and Broly goes pretty normal up until the point when Goku teleports away with Vegeta. Zarbon sees that Broly's losing and he tries the same thing Frieza did, killing Paragus in order to get Broly to transform, which does work. But not long after this, Goku and Vegeta retreat for a bit, leaving Broly there alone to rampage. And, with no one else in sight to attack, he immediately goes after the ship that Zarbon and Dodoria are on. Zarbon takes off Gas's headpiece and he goes completely berserk, flying out towards Broly, and with a single attack, Broly immediately kills him. This then causes chaos amongst the Zarbon force as they all panic and try to escape, though it doesn't really work out too well for them. Broly essentially destroys the entire army. Chila and Lemma are able to make it out, and Granola also barely escapes, stealing an escape pod aboard the giant ship they're on, and going back to Cereal, but Chila and Lemma stay here. They try and calm Broly, but nothing works. But then a few more ships appear in the sky. The Ginyu Force is here. The entire crew lands, and they strike a pose. But Broly's immediately ready to fight them, so he launches right towards them. Thankfully, Granola wasn't here to see Ginyu, because otherwise, he probably would have tried to go after him. Not that he'd be able to do anything, though. But Broly has no clue what Final Form Frieza looks like here, so he doesn't know who this is. Even if he did, he wouldn't realize it's Ginyu. Ginyu immediately goes into his golden form to fight Broly. He didn't expect to see another Saiyan here, much less one that's this strong. He tells Birder he might need his help, so Birder obliges. They've trained a little bit since the Tournament of Power, and they're each working towards something new. Birder was able to unlock something pretty interesting. Not really unique, but still interesting nonetheless. A golden aura surrounds him, and he turns golden as well. Since Cell is part Frieza after all, he just straight up copied that transformation. Golden Ginyu and Golden Birder fight Broly together. Broly eventually goes into his full power, but the two are pretty strong as is, and they end up winning the fight, which makes Goku and Vegeta immediately realize that Ginyu and Birder are stronger than them individually. There is no fusion here because Goku doesn't know the fusion dance, but it's not even needed anyways. Though Vegeta's a bit bummed he didn't get to fight Broly more, and that Ginyu stole the fight. Tarbal's there too, and Vegeta asks why he didn't join in. Surely he's grown stronger, right? And he has, but his best form is Super Saiyan 2. He's nowhere near anyone else here. Well, Vegeta's at least glad to hear that. The Ginyu Force prepares to arrest anyone else that's here, and there's no one. It's just Broly, Chila, and Lemma. Broly's unconscious, and Goku makes the case that Broly's actually a good guy. He just went berserk and was misled here. As for Chila and Lemma, they still are part of the Zarbon Force, so maybe they should get arrested. Jocko gets ready to take them in, but Goku promises that they'll handle those two plus Broly. And after some convincing, Jocko lets it slide, but says if they do have a problem with Broly again, the Ginyu Force isn't going to help out. Though Ginyu butts in. That's not Jocko's place to say. He's the leader of the Ginyu Force after all. It's not the Jocko Force. But there's no one to take in because there's no Zarbon Force left. Broly got rid of them all. Granola's back on Cereal, and He assumes that Broly just ended up killing the other two Saiyans and went so berserk that he might have even killed himself in the process. Either way, he's not getting involved, and he's free from the heaters. Plus, the Frieza Force is completely gone, so that's a good thing. He doesn't care to confirm it either. He's way out of his league right now. And he's seen firsthand what a desire for revenge can do to someone, so maybe that lets him cool down a bit. One day at the Galactic Patrol prison, Moro is able to escape, but he's pretty much immediately recaptured by the Ginyu Force. Birder uses his speed to fly out into space and physically stop Moro's ship, and when Birder gets there, he notices Maris appears with him too. How'd he get there that fast? Maris is still a really weird guy. He doesn't know why he's as strong as he is, but whatever, it's nice that he has some help here. Together, the two of them are able to stop Moro and take him back into prison. And you know, the patrol was planning on killing Moro anyways, so with the Ginyu Force, they might as well let them do it. It's weird, Ginyu remembers running by his cell a while back. This is when they first got captured by the patrol. Whoever that prisoner was always seemed ominous, but now that he knows more about him, Ginyu realizes it's best to just get rid of him. So, that's what happens. Some time passes. There wouldn't be any Granola arc because Granola's just living his life on cereal, thankfully not having it cut short at all. So, next we just arrive at Superhero. Things start out kinda normally. Gohan's slacking off a bit, Piccolo fights Gamma 2, and everything goes the same. Up until the point when Piccolo's about to make a wish to get stronger. He does want to get some help fighting the army, but no one's really there to help him. Goku and Vegeta are off planet with their new friend Broly. As for Gohan, well, he wants to knock some sense into Gohan, but he's not sure how much he'll be able to help here. Though there is a really obvious answer for who he could call, the Ginyu Force. He does consider wishing for strength so he could just handle it himself, but that's probably not going to work as well here. Kami is still alive, they never merged, so Piccolo's going to be noticeably weaker than normal, and who knows how that would affect the wish. Bulma thinks it's better for him to just call the Ginyu Force, so even though Piccolo did kind of want to handle this alone, he knows that's the better option. They call the Ginyu Force in. It feels like they're always on Earth, but they don't mind it. Piccolo gives them a rundown about the situation, so they all fly in together. Ginyu's going to split off on his own, trying to find Magenta and get him himself, especially because he mentions something about Cell Max, which really concerns Piccolo. And Birder wonders if this cell is going to be any stronger than the one whose body he stole. Well, hopefully they don't find out. Piccolo and the Ginyu Force arrive at the base again. Piccolo, Jace, Birder, and Jocko team up against Gamma 1, while Recoome, Goldo, Tarbell, and Maris team up against Gamma 2. And Ginyu goes for Magenta. The four of them versus Gamma 1's kind of overkill, especially with Birder there. And as for Gamma 2, they have Goldo on their side, so his abilities really help out here, plus the power of Recoome and Maris. And Tarbell at least gets to try out Super Saiyan 2 a bit more. And Piccolo is pretty surprised at the strength of everyone here. They've all grown a lot more. And Jace says they've been training a bunch. They actually found something pretty interesting to help with their training. Something that they've used a bit before, but didn't realize that they should use more of. Before he could explain any further, there's then a giant explosion. Ginyu quickly flies out of the base, and then everyone sees Hedo flying out of the base too, warning the Gammas to leave. And much to Hedo's surprise, he sees another Cell there. Is Cell still alive? Whatever, that's not the problem right now. The problem is, Magenta activated Cell Max. It's already too late. He bursts out of the base and everyone gets ready to fight. Hedo tells everyone about his weak point too, so at least maybe they could use that. And Ginyu can feel that Cell Max's power is really strong, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Piccolo asks what type of training they've been doing, and Ginyu explains. The Galactic Patrol actually has access to a room where time flows differently. They've used it a bit before, but mainly after the Tournament of Powers when they started really using it. Ever since then, they've basically spent all of their time in there, except when they actually did have to go onto a mission. And seeing the Cell up close, Birder could tell that he's clearly not as refined as the Cell whose body he stole. Birder starts to power up into his golden form, but Ginyu decides to steal the spotlight. He has a new power that he's not quite used to yet, but he shows it off here. It should be able to end the fight pretty quick. Ginyu's power soars. The rest of the Ginyu Force has actually seen this before. Maris was particularly interested in it. He spent some time training the Ginyu Force himself, and he's been trying to lead them towards Ultra Instinct, but wasn't really too sure how. It didn't really seem like it fit any of them either. He thought maybe Birder would be able to use it because, well, his whole fighting style is about speed and reflexes, so maybe there's still a chance there. But he noticed that Ginyu was relying on brute force, especially after getting Frieza's body, which kinda does make sense. And the new power he got is particularly amazing. He takes on a shiny new appearance. This is Black Ginyu. Realistically, he could have chosen any color he wanted for this form. He feels this one suits the look of Frieza's body though. Birder's bummed, and so is the rest of the Ginyu Force. They wanted to show off their powers. They've seen this form before and they realize that this battle's already over. Ginyu flies right through Cell Max, not even hitting his weak point. He just pops out the other side, and then quickly launches a blast back at him, completely incinerating him, avoiding the explosion. And just like that, Cell Max is defeated. Piccolo realizes how far behind he is. Not just with them, but Goku and Vegeta too. He needs to find some way to catch up. Just as Cell Max is defeated, somebody else shows up. It's Gohan. He actually sensed everything going on, and he wonders if they needed his help. Well, it's a little too late for that. But hey, it's the thought that counts. Anyways, back to Beerus' planet. Goku and Vegeta are of course still training here with Broly. Things have been going pretty well with Broly too. Goku's been trying to get his power under control, and since he's a pretty strong opponent, it's nice to have him around as another training partner. He never went into hiding from Frieza because there was no Frieza to hide from. He, Chi-Lai, and Limo stayed on Earth for a bit, and Chi-Lai and Limo are still on Earth right now actually. But Broly came to Beerus' planet with them, especially because Beerus did kind of want to see what his power is like. So he's actually been here for a while, and Beerus actually knows that he's here. It's not a surprise to him. Soon enough, they hear about what happened on Earth, and particularly the fact that there was another Cell who was really powerful, and Ginyu was able to defeat him with one attack. Apparently he has some sort of new form that they want to see. Something above even his golden form. Goku and Vegeta have of course been growing a lot themselves. By this point I feel like Vegeta would have Ultra Ego, and Goku of course still has Ultra Instinct. Able to use it at will now. Though without the Granola arc he didn't really have much combat practice with it, but having Broly here at least evens that out. An extra person to train with is really helpful, and Broly does have full control of his power too. But he's definitely going to have a rematch with Ginyu soon. Actually, not just Ginyu, future Ginyu too. Beerus tells him that's a terrible idea. Goku can't time travel, and he knows that, but he hopes to see future Ginyu again one day, and future Gohan and Trunks for that matter. There's so many strong people out there, not just in this universe or even in this timeline, but there's a lot of great people he could be fighting. And he's glad the Ginyu Force stuck around, turning good and growing as strong as they did. But there's always been one thought that's been lingering in his mind. What would have happened if he never got his body back and Ginyu kept his body and vice versa? Clearly future Ginyu's making good use of Goku's body, but that's a little bit of a different case. Still, it leaves him wondering though. But Ginyu's definitely making use out of Frieza's body, so that's at least good. And something also kind of irks Vegeta about it. Like, he knows it's not Frieza, but it's Frieza's body, and Ginyu's grown that strong in it. Does that mean if Frieza had been around, he would have grown stronger than them? Or is it just because of Ginyu? Either way, not worth thinking about. The important thing is, they need to catch up. They need to grow as strong as possible. And with that, we'll end up the story here. What did you guys think about the story as a whole? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, thanks for supporting the scenario all the way through, and I'll see you all in my next video.